welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of longtime friends and internet nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons. We're still hoping not so much critical fumbling, even though I don't think there's going to be any much need for rolls of significant import. Probably, maybe, ish. Previously, the Cupcake Coterie arrived in Anbeer, getting on to a week ago now. It's been quite a week. They were attempting to liberate the Protector Azamar, the few surviving Protector Azamar, from a little compound just off the main town city of Anbeer. That did not go overly well. It resulted in a particularly nasty duel, some horrors. The thing Darwin is still probably never going to entirely forget about is having one of your best friend's heart literally in your hands is probably not something you're ever really going to forget. Ava has some decisions to be making, and that's probably why she's one of the only people looking remotely forward to going back to Almaver, which they're going to have to do because in the course of all this, because of how things panned out, Bahirzet, the governor of Zlatar, had to basically out himself as a gold dragon, and by extension, the rest of them. So some explanations and apologies are going to have to be made. But they're spending a couple of extra days in Anbeer, partially because they're not entirely ready to go to Alzor yet. Partially because Hazel is waiting to see if she hears anything from the letter that she had Alice write and leave for her biological father, and to let Barnabus have a little bit of time with his new girlfriend. Oh, I think I figured out why you mispronounced Cherie so badly. Your girlfriend is Brandy, yes?
Yes.
Brandy, Sherry.
Yep. 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 Yep.
I would love I didn't even notice that until you pointed out. My God,
I would love to be able to argue that. I really would love to be, and I have no basis to do so.
What are the freaking odds?
I mean, I realized it at the end of that session, but there's been so much else going on that I couldn't really flag it up. So, anyway, yeah. So, anyway, yes. Barnabas does actually have a date with Cherie this evening. To all you can eat pierogi night. Effectively. So, Barnabas is looking forward to that for a number of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And my ass is panicking because I recall that with the guard being turned essentially topsy-turvy and attention being brought to us and people surrounding us.
I was getting to that part of it, but yes, there's another reason that it's probably good they're staying for a little while, which was flagged up to them after Hazel's after the trip to the exotic pet store, which resulted in Hazel coming out with a miniature church griffin cub named Michigan, who's currently sitting on Hazel's shoulder and is being very good about not eating the bow or turning it into a toy or anything like that. Is just sitting there perched. May occasionally be floofing Hazel's hair with his tail, but beyond that. Yeah, so every so often you feel flick. But yes, it was flagged up to them that there's about a dozen of the formerly Scourge and now not so much Scourge Azamar who were very much in line with Jessamy's way of thinking that may be causing some issues both for the town and for you guys in particular because, well, you're the one who basically threw everything they were doing into disarray, meaning that they were no longer shielded by the anti-magic field that at that point was the only thing keeping them from a distinct fall. And yeah, I mean, not that. Now, most of the time, these guys, I have to admit, kind of do the immediate and then leave, and don't really necessarily pay over much attention to what might happen in the aftermath. Which, to be honest, given how Rylan joined the party, they should have known better, but never mind. These things are sent. Okay, no, these things are not even sent to try me. These things are sent to give me more plot fodder. So I can't really argue this, and even though at least one of you has wisdom as their main stat and should know better.
I mean, in our defense, it's also partly like we just finished one thing, and then something else comes up we have to deal with.
Well,
So we
no,
don't
to be fair,
necessarily get time to, but-
that's the thing. You have your list of things that you need to do. You could, technically speaking, take a day out from going to the next bit on the list to make sure that everything is more or less sorted out.
Yeah, true.
You tend not to do that. You're like, okay, this bit's off the list. Next! And
This is true.
you don't necessarily figure on consequences.
This is true.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not letting you get away with that one. No.
Oh no, that's fair.
Sorry.
That's fair.
So yeah, they've had words with the new captain of the guard, the former sergeant who used to just run the jail, but was the predominant member of the guard, picking up this bullshit. And frankly, he was one of the few individuals that they could reasonably promote that far. I mean, Adelaide is kind of pissed at you guys because even though you went down to the docks, and part of your mission at the docks was to check in on Clint and make sure he was out of the punishment that he'd been put into, y'all kind of didn't. As far as anybody can tell, he's probably okay, because if he wasn't at least alive, you guys probably wouldn't be, because Adelaide would be so pissed and would find you because everybody knows where you are.
You're kind of hard to miss.
Well, that may in fact be a problem for the Mobius sisters, although not so much of a problem for them on the basis that it's the Bone Orchard. It takes a certain level of stupid to attack the Bone Orchard, and it takes very, very special circumstances for those two to die. So anybody who tries that shit with them, well, good fucking luck. As Niala's most, and Alana is normally, occasionally goes, I still wonder how they'd be able to manage that, and gets upside the head from Niala when that's, you've probably seen that one over meals at least once. They're twins. It's a thing. Even then, only with a few minutes between them. But there is no question that Niala is the older sister. Anyway, Rylan, Darvin, and Faraday did a Head Start kind of thing on the that little dark alley off the street of knowledge. And one of the main things they found out about was that while some of the books that they necessarily wanted to look at were here, a lot of them aren't so much. What they have instead is what categories, time periods, etc. you'd need to ask for in the Silver Vault. One of them explained, we keep what we can, but it can be occasionally dangerous to keep too many of those books all in one place. There's only one of us that does this. And we keep an eye on her. Everybody keeps an eye on her. And Verida kind of, well, as long as I get done with this uh, before it gets too dark, or if I stay in like one of these places, so I don't have to be out in the creepy too much, I can take notes of all the things that we need to ask about when we hit Ambach. Because you guys are obviously going to have to tell them that, and I know that it takes tasks and things to unlock bits. So they should probably know ahead of time, just so they can, I don't know, maybe they can think of something.
That makes a lot of sense.
So if you
Yeah.
guys want to go find the rest of them, because they're if nothing else, there was Hazel's doing the vibratey thing again, and she usually needs a bit more checking up on when she's doing that. So yeah, I'm gonna say that you guys effectively, after this bunch comes out of Her Grace's bower, you've got a kind of a little meetup spot in front of one of the Street of Love and Beauty's cafes, before Barnabas heads off for all he can eat pierogi and evening with Cherie. But just to have a bit of an update with this bunch before people find dinner, etc. So y'all minus Farida meet up in front of in fact, it probably in front of the one that Hazel did the judgment on. So you've got your pretty Van Gogh-like pastoral thing, having clearly moved into its regulated additional 2 feet.
I think we also sent a Hearth Heart to retrieve or rescue or otherwise keep an eye on the bunch from last time. We ran into one of the other Hearth Hearts.
Yes. So when these guys are coming out, you actually do wind up with Hoffling, brown hair. And it's Darvin's known them the longest. There's a very definitive Hearth look to this one. Hello. Where's the Dragonborn?
Hello.
Where is the
Further
Dragonborn?
research?
Because I've been sent to kind of keep an eye. So if you're leaving, then I should probably be keeping an eye. Mary Claire Hearthheart. Hi. I happened to hear Hazel, so I thought I would. Because let's face it, this place can be a little creepy, especially with her down the end of the lane. So, which shop am I going into? You just point to the one that Farada is still sitting in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Have a lovely day.
Oh God, there are more of them.
Darvin probably.
Yeah, there's definitely a particular vibe going.
Yeah. Also, Darvin probably knows this a whole lot better than Rylan. Hofflings are particularly clannish. So it's like kind of like when one of them hits someplace new, they set up franchises almost.
They kind of bring their own little them wherever they go, for lack of a better way to put it. You can definitely recognize them regardless of where they're at. Not a bad thing,
I
just a
was
thing.
I was actually just thinking more that yes, there are a lot of them, so they have to spread, or else you'd wind up with towns that are
Yeah,
a bit like the Hearth, which are like 98% Hearth Heart or Quick Flight or whatever. They
yeah.
just they
There's
breed.
there's a lot.
It probably
I
occurs.
mean, there's a
More
lot.
hazels in wild.
It might occur to Rylan that that explanation was lacking, and you might want to ask one of the rest of these for what the hell he was trying to say. Because this is Darvin.
There's a note that I am
Yeah,
following
unfortunately.
up with other party.
Okay, yes, so if you guys meet up with Alice, just kind of, hi guys, where's Faraday?
Hey,
Doing more
still
research.
researching.
Ah, and she's with Mary
Apparently,
Claire?
there's yes, and apparently one of the issues is they have some books, not all of them, because you get too much of certain books together, it's not good. Apparently, which does make a certain amount of sense. And
Alice just looks
so
to
we may have
clarity for
to.
confirmation of that one. Which, yeah.
Yeah, you need. They have an index of where you can find them in the Silver Vault.
Cool.
Thank you. I was about to.
So Faraday's making a list of where and when and what we need to ask for.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
let's hope we've unlocked at least some of those already. And we're still probably gonna have to go to that one at the end of the lane. But we'll probably do that in the morning, because there is enough bullshit going on right now. This lot just kind of realized that we haven't actually dealt with the guard that became Fallen Azamar and are really pissed about it. And may wish to do harm.
And we also will
some of
need
them-
the entirety of the map of the sewers because somebody kept that map exclusively and that somebody was the fascist.
Tag. They're apparently hiding in the sewers
Okay.
someplace.
I just sorry with one thing and another. I'm not sure just how much that I consider him. But anyway, that's splitting hairs and beside the point. Sorry.
No. Clarity and Barnabas are the pedants. No. You don't get to do this. No. You're a fucking bard. You don't get to be a pedant.
I am tempted to try to resurrect a finger in ear trick.
Please don't. We don't want to make Barnabas late for his date.
I appreciate that.
It's just we're just here to make sure that we're all on the same page and to figure out an after dinner meetup point and things to do.
So
Yeah.
those guards, or ex-guards, they weren't rounded up after all was said and done. I thought that was
They
part
were
of
the
the
guards,
quote-unquote
so that when
cleanup.
they
Did
Some of them
out
go
and they're-
away.
I mean, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
I
It
wasn't.
was kind of chaotic.
Well, I mean, yeah, you've got a fucking
Yeah,
solar
everything was
and a
all over the
massive
place, so, yeah.
dragon. So yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
I mean, let's face it. It's not as if we were paying all that much attention. We had other shit
Oh,
to
hell
do.
no. Definitely not.
So, fair enough. But this is still kind of on, maybe not specifically us, but the thing we did. So we probably ought to at least try and help fix it. Particularly
Agreed.
given
No,
that
definitely. No,
particularly
there's
given
no.
that
Yeah. Mhm.
if we leave without this being resolved, we've got people they could hurt in lieu of us.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, no. This is definitely this gets dealt with before we go traipsing. Yeah, no, agreed.
Yeah, let's face it, Alamavera is going to have to be the first bit of traipsing, just because we need to get that
Yep.
over with,
Mhm.
and the
Definitely.
longer we
Mhm.
leave it, the more pissed
Yep.
off Bendis is going to get.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You haven't even properly
And I
met
still
her yet,
am
have
kind
you,
of.
Rylan? This is going
Oh
to be fun.
boy.
Yeah, get ready. She's going to threaten us with every single form of death imaginable.
No, I don't think she necessarily has to. She's just
No.
going to yell a lot.
Mm,
Possibly in actual ancient brass dragon form.
Yeah, the last
More
time
than
she
likely.
did that, I think several of us had a meltdown.
I was not there for that one.
I may have. I may have peed a little. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sorry, you deserved to pee a little from what I hear.
Oh no, absolutely. No, I'm not saying I didn't. I earned every bit of that.
Anyway, while Barnabas goes and fills himself full of pierogi and bask in the light of his lady love, what are we gonna do? And where are we gonna meet afterwards?
Docks.
Fair, fair.
And remember the tavern
Finding
where we
a map.
The stacks.
yeah, at the stacks.
Okay, so we'll find food and we'll meet you there in, what, a couple hours? Barnabas?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Awesome. Cool. So, yeah, I mean, we've it occurs to me that we should probably send Flitty, peek out of the scarf. You want me to go with a message? I go. I'm gonna have to look in windows in the creepy place. Oh boy. Oh well. Finding a dragon lady should be pretty easy. Away.
Good luck.
He actually turns around. Why did
It's
you say
Flitty, they're
that?
not gonna
I
need it.
shouldn't need luck.
You are awesome, but we send it along with you anyway.
Alice is just, we will save you. I will personally collect individual bits of everybody else's meal so that you can have your proper shared noomph. That's the spirit.
That also works.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Flitty has managed to survive way fucking more than you have.
Lydia is also more agile, smaller, and a lot better at this than we ever will be because Flitty came from not households.
Flitty also can become invisible at will.
And we can add that to the list. Flitty comes naturally with a lot of skills that are just kind of unfair in terms of surviving everything.
Yeah, except I think it balances out the whole fact that Flitty is very small and kind of easily squished. It doesn't have all the rest of that.
Also true.
Doofus. Anyway, if you are allowed to, maybe try to save Flitty a pierogi.
I was already thinking that. It's more of, it's kind of an all-you-can-eat, so if there's multiple options, that might get tricky.
Just pick your favorite. Flitty always likes to know our favorites.
That's
If
true.
you can pick a favorite, that's going to be the tricky part.
Yeah, it's a wonderful problem to have.
Yes,
I
yes,
can
it
think of
is.
worse ones.
Yes.
That's a great way to put it. That is a great way to put it.
I'm just sorry that part of your date is probably going to be warning Cherie that, actually, probably, first of all, asking how work is at the moment now that. Because I have a feeling she fucking knew. You would feel you would think she'd have been a bit more.
Surprised.
Yeah, that's the kind of surprise that lingers with you if you've been working with them for like years.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
But
Well.
either way, and she probably would have already thought of this, but then again, depending on what she's handling, she might not know exactly the extent of guard issues. Former guard, ex-guard issue. I don't know.
Problems.
Problems. Not that I don't figure she can't handle herself, but it, I am concerned about the about the effect of fallen Azamar on Woofle's diet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely.
I mean, if nothing else, overfeeding tends to be bad for your pets.
Mm-hmm. Or require much more exercise.
Well, then again, I suppose actually attacking and stalking the prey is pretty sufficient exercise. I wonder if she live feeds sometimes just for the enrichment.
Is it strange? I hope she does.
No, I'm kind of hoping she does too, because given the people at the exotic pet store and giving uh, uh, live prey to Langtree, I figure there must be some. I just wonder what though. Hopefully nothing sentient. This is not a conversation we should be having before dinner.
We end up in these conversations anyway, and I've kind of stopped trying to figure out how.
Yes, but I'm figuring we should stop because we don't want Barnabas to be late.
Well, I appreciate it, and I will see you guys
At the
later.
stacks in a couple hours. Enjoy.
Mm-hmm. I will.
Meantime, to spare anybody else the arguments, debate, and discussion, I'm going to do something very specifically for Hazel. I am going to go airborne over the Street of Nature's Bounty. I'm going to throw a rock at a roof, and whichever one I hit is where we're going to have dinner. The ultimate in surprise me.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I like that.
Ruffles Hazel's hair and Ian looks at Remy. Want to come with me? You can throw the
Yes.
rock
Okay.
under the armpits and whoop. Okay. In which case, I would like Remy to. I'll use athletics. Fuck it.
Okay.
Not bad. That's, of course, I've forgotten my dice again. Starting to run out of room on this desk because too much medication. This is very definitively Alice A dice. It was not a nat 20, but it was a 19. So yeah, Alice A marks the roof that the rock hit. Lands briefly just to look at what it is, and it does appear to be a surf and turfish kind of place, rather similar to Harley's. Well, it's not. I mean, I imagine they do some things differently, but maybe Hazel will find something spicy enough to her liking.
No doubt.
And then just this time, bridal carries Remy, whoop, and lands. Okay, we found the place. It's literally just called the Grill. It appears from the outside to be a surf and turfy kind of place, or at least a grilled meat kind of place, anyway. Which is honestly fairly good for my obligate carnivore of a wife. Ruffle, ruffle. It's just amusing to me that, I come from the culture where the meat is actually easier to find than anything vegetable. So we suit pretty well that way. Come on. And yeah, it turns out when you go in that it's not so much a surf and turfy kind of place. It is a barbecue place.
Ooh.
So the smell of incredibly good barbecue sauce.
Oh boy.
Look at the look on Darwin's face. We have to take Barnabus here.
Oh, he'd love it.
He will be so bummed to have missed this. We have to go here before we leave. Or maybe we can tell him about it and he can take Cherie here.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
So then he gets to enjoy it with a native,
Exactly that.
and yeah, so we'll do that. But meantime, and you wind up with this woman apparently very much came from Egref originally. Mostly you can tell because half elf, and you can see the ears pretty well because her hair is done in multicolored spikes. And there's so much piercing. Hello to you.
Hi.
Why does he look like child in candy store?
Same idea, essentially.
I am a big fan of good food.
Then you must never leave this place.
I have responsibilities.
See, I am here working with my parents for the holiday breaks. I do my grant in Agref at the academy by working at various different restaurants that deal with the grilling of the meats. So last semester I was working at Harley's in the kitchens. I will be working in hotspots in the spring. He's the one with the very spicy foods.
Noted.
Yes. I should say to you, Miss Cleric of Paylor, that word of you has gone around Ambir. You are noted for being the connoisseurs of the spicy.
Love it. Yes, very yes.
No, not just enjoying, but you don't know what the word connoisseurs means. Is you know all the best of the spices.
Love it. Yes.
Well, we do not go all entirely in for the very, very spiciest, but you can have some of these places chili as a side dish. Is not just chili peppers, is ground beef and beans and various other things, and chili peppers in the inside, and is best when dipped in cornbread. My elven sister, she makes the cornbread is beautiful.
Out of
I am
character,
like
you are
almost
making
free
me so
dripping saliva at this
freaking
point.
Okay, no, it is good thing that you get bibs here, because there's two messies. The sauce is all everywhere. You see.
Vaguely gurgly squeak.
That is adorable. I have never heard the stomach rumble and the happy squeak before. Come, come, we will find you
That
a
is a phrase. It is certainly a phrase.
we will find you a table. Come, sit, 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 sit. And plunks you.
Darvin just kind of slightly bounces along. And just,
And it kind of sets you guys down on either side of a trestle table, and it's more of a single sheet menu. It's not a huge selection, but you've on one end you do have steaks, but there's also the chicken and the ribs and list of side dishes. The chili, baked beans, coleslaw, the ubiquitous cornbread, varying kinds of potato, but mostly you have chicken, ribs, or both. Also, something about pulled pork, which Barnabus probably mentioned to you guys, and barbecued beef brisket. And don't worry, Barnabas will be able to take Cherie here.
That was just me.
Okay, but let's face it will be him too.
Oh, yes.
There's an option that's both. There's an option that's both. There's an option that's both.
Yeah, unfortunately for you, there's not an option that's all, because, I mean, look there.
I
Barnabas...
was about to ask, is there an all of the above?
But now we roll the hand of fate. We're back on the 19s.
Like a sample platter.
We're back on the 19s. There is what is known as a mixed grill. It's very much listed as for the healthy appetite. Oh, dear gods, please mute if you're going to be moving. We still hear your chair very loud. Which is chicken, either breast or it's chicken, either thigh or drumstick. Half a rack of ribs. Bits of the pulled pork and the barbecued brisket. They've left off the steak for that particular mixed grill, but also comes with a choice of 3 sides. And like I say, they've got... You're not entirely sure what coleslaw is. Actually, no, Hazel might know what coleslaw is, because cabbage is a fairly easy thing to grow, so the Hearthheart family knows everything, the best ways to do things with cabbage. But yeah, coleslaw, the cornbread just kind of comes in a basket as soon as you sit down, so, but yeah, cornbread, beans, chili, sorry, coleslaw, beans, chili.
Mac and cheese, greens.
Yep. But you get a choice of 3 for your mixed grill. Well, I can very definitely do the mixed grill. I think I can only really suggest that each of us try to order across the entire spectrum of sides so we can offer bites. Because I imagine that I can definitely handle the mixed grill. I'm sure Ree can handle the mixed grill. Darvin will try. Hazel probably can, because healthy farm girl appetite. I'm a little less sure about you guys. Yeah. Not as a bad thing, but just because
you will be overloaded.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
After all,
Darvin turns to behave. I want to split.
Well, no, I figured Darvin will be able to manage
it. Want to split the mixed?
To be honest, I kind of figured that you'd manage the given the noises your stomach is making. I figured you'd manage the mixed on your own.
Probably, yeah, probably.
And besides, remember we're each saving little bits for Flitty.
Mm-hmm.
Points.
So if more of us are ordering the mixed grill here, and if your eyes wind up just that little bit too big for your stomach, you can provide Flitty with basically the same thing all of us ate. Okay, that's a bit
That'll work.
that's a bit vertiginous there. Please warn me if you're going to be moving.
Sorry about that. My apologies.
No, that's fine. And yes,
Now I know.
the cornbread is it's a good thing to have somebody who's been studying egg graph working in your restaurant, because they have specialized little bread baskets that are keeping your cornbread nice and warm.
That's amazing. I love that.
And little crocks of one appears to be honey butter, the other one is garlic butter, and then there's a third of plain butter.
I'm taking full advantage of the honey and occasionally, and the garlic occasionally. Not really with the plain, but yeah.
Well, it's.
God damn, I'm so hungry now.
I know, right?
This is Ann Beer. Welcome to it. While you're still in Ann Beer, please make sure to eat well before you start the session. It probably won't help. So anyway, yes, you wind up with your rainbow colored half elf individuals doing Hazel's hype man slide.
Yeah.
May I take your order, please? I am going to have the mixed grill with the chili extra spicy. The mac and cheese, I'll have that regular, and the greens.
Also, what she said, but with the sides being different, coleslaw, chili extra spicy. Let's double down on greens.
Mainly looks at Darwin at this point. 'Cause,
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be the mixed. It's gonna be. You said various forms of potatoes, so I'm assuming mashed potatoes are a thing.
yes.
But I'm sure they're special in some fashion. So the mashed potatoes.
There are
chili,
actually, to be fair,
just-
there is plain mash, garlic mash, sour cream mash, and potato and sweet potato mash.
Oh, let me get that. The sweet. Oh, that sounds amazing. So yeah, the sweet potato combination, and should probably, and the greens. Let me try to at least pretend I'm being at least halfway healthy.
I'm going to assume that Remy is having about the same thing as Alice is having, except maybe less spicy on the chili.
Yes.
I've learned to more or less make a basic decision for you. Looks over at Clarity, because apparently she looks like a relatively decisive person to someone who lives in Agrif. Shows what they know.
Pulled pork and chili, not quite so spicy, and sweet potatoes.
Okay, so when you say not so spicy, going by the usual classifications, we are talking more red dragon and less fireplane, right?
Yes.
Is red dragon, fire elemental, fireplane. See, so it's still spicy, but it's not. Red dragon is still spicy, but it's not so spicy.
Sounds good.
Incidentally, you might want to prevent Michigan from getting into the cornbread.
What do you think you're doing?
Delicious. This is the only way they've got to. The only way he's got to ask for food.
I'll go with the chicken. Garlic mashed potatoes, green beans, and cornbread.
Well, he's not so much green beans. It's just greens.
Greens, yeah.
Is general. That has to be seen to be properly understood. And Ethan, we do not have you on camera.
Yeah, he's fixing some stuff.
His
stuff
thing
froze.
just went. Yeah, okay. Then looks over at Rylan. Unfortunately, no, they have nothing that is remotely on the vegetarian end at all, unless you just want to order sides. All the sides, nothing but sides.
We potato mash, mac and cheese, and greens.
Is not the meats?
I don't really do that so much.
Hang on just one moment. I'm going to go and speak to my uncle. Just wait, right there. You'd swear she's got Hazel's boots. The amount of noom.
Welcome to Halfling.
No, that's a half elf.
Oh, but welcome to half anything, really. Half the genetics, double the speed.
And then back. Okay. Uncle Marcus, he has said that if you want the vegetables, he can put some vegetables on the grill for you.
That sounds lovely, actually.
And with the sides. But he will not tell exactly which vegetables he is going to put on the grill because he wants it to be a surprise. He did say something about maybe having something that is stuffed and baked, but he will surprise you with vegetable things. So we will put vegetable surprise. He's already making it, so but I am bound by honor not to tell you what is in it because surprise.
How am I the one getting the Hazel treatment?
Because this is a meat establishment and you do not want meat.
No, that's fair. I understand.
Yes, we are starting to know about the Hazel treatment now. Somebody must be surprised when Hazel of the Hearths is present. We unfortunately have only 2 or 3 drink choices. We have sweet iced tea. We have lemonade. And if you are for something a little more alcoholic, we are looking at mint juleps.
Iced tea will be fine for me, thanks.
Yeah,
Lemonade.
To be fair,
Lemonade.
For some of you guys, the concept of iced tea is a little weird.
Iced tea.
Iced tea as well.
Lemonade.
I'll stick with the lemonade with these guys. Comes back, and we're talking, the kind of it's incredibly southern. This basically. So there is quality, but there is also this is not just tea. This is hummingbird food.
Yeah, I'm really glad I went with the lemonade. Oh boy, I remember that.
So yeah, those of you who went with lemonade got some, But the iced tea is, I don't know how many of you have had proper southern iced tea, but it is
Sweet tea?
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Never had it.
you wouldn't have. It's
Like capital S, capital W, E.
hummingbird food. This is effectively like drinking slightly more liquid corn syrup. Or
It's like
yeah,
tea
it's
flavored
basically
sugar.
liquefied sugar.
yeah, so you suck on that and it really is like liquid sugar and some tea.
Ugh,
They weren't kidding. That is sweet.
Girl.
Hey, General, it's basically the tea equivalent of my old coffees.
Look, I've actually been
Sugar with a.
it's sugar with a bit of tea, but no, that I'm actually thinking about this as having been in Mississippi, and I got fed this shit without warning.
Oof.
I was used to iced
Oh,
tea
damn.
as in iced tea, where you can mostly taste the tea and it's not that sweet. Then I got southern sweet tea. Even
Where the
for
viscosity
me,
is just slightly off.
even with the way I take my coffee, there are limits. That was like 5 of them.
So how long before I'm about halfway down my my beverage?
Well, that depends on you, basically. This is this how much
This
sweet
is
do you
more farm
want?
girl fuel.
That's fair. So yeah, well, Ava's going, whoo, they were right about that being sweet. Hazel's just has not stopped for breath yet, apparently.
Breathe, Hazel. Breathing is needed.
Michigan is taking advantage of Hazel's moments of distraction by stealing the bit of cornbread off her plate. Drink.
Points.
Just going to fetch another piece of cornbread, pop it in half, and just.
Yarp.
You
Don't
can
blame
just
him.
say food and point.
Delicious. Bunk. Rub.
Scratch.
And yes, eventually, food arrives. I mean, we were talking some of the best southern barbecue you could imagine. So,
Yeah, I've got at least two individuals to share with: Clarity and
Michigan, yes.
the Gremlin.
What Rylan gets is a couple of grilled vegetable kebabs and in character you will have heard of this. Out of character, probably not. What you have is stuffed marrow. Marrow is basically what happens when a zucchini grows very, very big. More for the others than for you, because you look like you understand what that is, which is surprising for anybody who doesn't live here. But yeah, when a zucchini grows very, very big, it becomes a marrow, and while it in and of itself doesn't have a whole lot of flavor, it's all about what you roast in it. So it's been stuffed with lightly spiced lentils and chopped onion and things like that, along with your chunks of veggie kebab and your sides.
Well, consider me surprised.
We do have some vegetarian individuals. It's just that this is mostly the place for all the meats. You should see our lunch menu. Mostly what we have is various barbecued sandwiches and also open-faced hot chicken sandwiches, which is your bread and your chicken, and then you put gravy. And also hot smoked meat sandwiches. On bread more made of rye than wheats, as you know them, and spicy mustards. Somebody is going to be coming here for lunch at some point. This is good. I am apparently good for business, even though I am apparently wearing half of a jewelry shop in my face, according to my uncle. Oh well. Just let me know if you need anything else.
It's amazing.
Well, yes, you haven't actually even eaten it yet.
Darwin's eyebrows at
You have to kind
Darwin's
of
eyebrows at the description were like.
But yes, your Alice is takes little bites of everything, and yeah, Barnabas is going to be so pissed that he missed this. We will have to tell him about it. We'll have to also take him here when we go for lunch, because we obviously have to go here for lunch, because Darwin has only just now managed to pry his eyebrows off the ceiling.
Exactly. Yes, please. Thank you.
So, okay, the two mixed grill individuals who are not the mercenary and, well, Alice, because cast iron stomach, frankly. I would like both of you to make me constitution saving throws. Just to see how much of the whole thing y'all can eat.
That's including me, right?
Yeah, but you probably have advantage because you are a farm girl.
And thus am a food hoover.
Good thing you had
14.
Yeah, Hazel clears hers and probably does in fact have a bit of room for dessert. The only reason that Darwin does is because he set aside a little more than, for Flitty than you might necessarily have considered. And honestly, it's one of those things where he may have kind of cheated slightly by slipping some bits to Michigan so that Hazel doesn't have to give up her. Because Hazel just cleared the plate.
And yeah, I've learned my lesson from the ice cream.
That was just you eating it too fast. And some of the flavor combinations being a little weird. But yes, we're definitely going to have to... Here's what we'll do. We'll take Barnabas here for lunch tomorrow and have him suggest this as a place to take Cherie to, because I think the next step in the dating that's not the going home and knocking boots, as it were, is that he picks the restaurant. So it would be nice to have a place to suggest, given he doesn't know the place very well. Also, he would just like to know it, because
Oh, yes.
look at this.
Boy, howdy.
And yeah,
I'm loving this because there's actually a place nearby that's a lot like this.
And you've most of the desserts are in the pie variety.
This is a reminder of the pie incident.
I mean,
Incidents plural now.
Yeah, well, but to be fair, there is blueberry. There's also, you're not entirely sure what a key lime is or how it goes into a pie. You know what a lemon is and you know what a meringue is, but lemon meringue pie has not been a feature.
Okay, whatever the lime thing is, I have to try that.
And the waitress is, key as in geographical bit, not...
Oh! I was trying to figure out how you can unlock a one, but I don't know.
It's a Moscow thing, isn't it?
Not exactly. Is a result of trading agreements that we have with the Moscow. We grow, they harvest. Money exchanges hands, and is a thing. but that particular spot is good for limes.
Okay, double the reason to try this.
If there's a strawberry option, it would probably go for that.
There is actually, in fact, strawberry shortcake.
Oh, perfect.
And for those for those who are big into chocolate, there is chocolate cream pie.
Mm.
Yeah, Alice immediately points that one out to Remy. I know my wife.
Darwin's basically going to wait. Darwin's going to wait and see what everybody else gets and gets whatever pie has not been ordered. And so that way I can set some aside.
Yeah. Alice actually is watching Darwin and going, if nobody orders this, given what Barnabas was telling us, do try there's a pecan pie with bourbon sauce.
Actually, out of character, I had a nice girlfriend make me one of those once. So yes, I know exactly what that is.
And dessert orders are given, and yeah, there is a fruit plate if Rylan wants that, but there is also the mass quantities of pies.
I mean, Rylan would have gone for the strawberry shortcake.
Okay, well that works too. But yes, they do not stint on the desserts. We're talking large chunks of pie and cake. This is the Southern bless your heart eat up kind of thing.
Mhm.
And given this is ambeer,
Is
this is like
delicious.
this is Southern. This is just that dialed to 11.
Yeah, well, don't you consider Barnabas is going to wind up in the equivalent of Polish mother kitchen. Eat, eat, you'll fade away to nothing.
Dear God.
The man
There's a
is
Russian
going to come
parent
back
thing, too.
around.
Well, just that. But to be fair, every culture has partly a reputation for that.
Russian, Italian, Ukrainian. There's so many.
Everybody
Irish.
but the fucking Americans, except the Southern Americans, because they don't
Yeah,
care
unless
about.
you go south.
Yeah, they don't. Apparently, they are not all that fussed about people getting fat, because in parts of the U.S., it really is just don't eat anything. You might actually gain a pound. Fuck you.
I don't
Yeah.
understand. And then there's those who just don't, who think they can just work it off.
Well, I mean, you can. It's just
Who
having.
think they can work it off by not changing their workouts at all. Or
Oh.
even having a workout.
All I can say on the matter is that at least enjoy your food. We're running out of things to enjoy in this life. Food is a thing. It requires to be eaten. It is not. There is nothing inherently virtuous or non-virtuous about different kinds of food, and ambeer is very much about the celebration of it all.
Thank you.
So yes, you wind up with goodly sized chunks of dessert, coffees. They don't even ask; it's just coffees. Yeah. By this time, they've apparently got relatively used to you guys. It's amazing how quickly they can get a feel for the sort of person you are and what kind of thing you might like in a coffee. Darwin's is moderately strong, little bit of cream, bit of sugar, but not too sweet. Ava's fair bit more cream, so it's not.
Too bitter.
And there's probably a certain amount of chocolate in there too, so you've kind of got a mocha. Clarity has also got a somewhat stronger mocha, and it has little marshmallows floating in it. Ryland's is about 50% milk.
So more or less a cafe au lait.
Hazel's is probably not as strong as she would like, but about as strong as she can take. Without, vibrating out of her chair. probably just strong enough to keep her from succumbing to food coma, while not so strong she will be seeing through time. And for Remy and Alice, well, it's them.
I have to keep Michigan from getting into my coffee.
Michigan is not overly interested in your coffee. Michigan is interested in the meringue top of your key lime pie.
And I'm just going to scoop fully. I'm just going to over the course of the time just scoop half of it. And
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult for Michigan to eat off a fork, though, because beak.
yeah, and I'm just figuring out how to get that to him, and eventually just give up and find a secondary bowl.
Are you sure sugar's good fun?
Meanie!
Just asking.
Just gonna leave it to the gremlin.
But, rub.
You're welcome,
I
Michigan.
don't want you to get sick.
And I'll say it's like, it's a part crow. I've seen what those things eat.
Fair enough.
Crows, jays, ravens, they can and will eat anything. Do not leave anything out on a farm. You'll have an army descend.
To be fair, Hazel
Or
and
birds.
Hazel and her whole farm life have been scarecrows in places, but setting out bits of food very specifically for the crows, surrounded by shiny bits.
Yeah, so the idea is you either break out the scarecrow,
Or both, because they
Or
get wise
you
to the
u-
scarecrows after a while.
or, well, not or, and you also set aside specific food piles for them. Because they're smarter than you. They're smarter than all of us.
So, not only do you keep them out of your main crops, but you feed them so they're nice to you.
Essentially, yeah. Because if you make them angry, well, then when swooping season starts, it's
Aiming for the
thousands
face.
of times worse.
Aiming for the face, yes.
Oh yeah, jays will do that anyway too. Jays do not care. They are angry.
Yeah, okay. That's... I mean, to be fair, I'm probably never going to run a farm, but this is good to know for city corvids.
Make friends with the local crows, make friends with the local ravens. Try with the jays. Probably gonna get bit anyway, but try anyway.
Bird feeder. No problem. And on that note, you guys have about finished. We are about break time, and when we come back, we will deal with Barnabas's date, because there are things. And we're back, moving on to the designated space for Barnabas's date, and it's honestly not that far away from the grill place, but you've approached from sort of the opposite direction before these guys headed out, so you've probably kind of missed that. But Cherie, by the time you get there and get in, has already found a table, at least partially because she wanted to make sure that they had a chair that was sufficiently comfortable for you. The interior of this one is just piney rustic charm for the most part, and how it's set up is, the chairs and tables kind of like a food court-ish kind of thing, and there are little almost booths in kind of a almost a maze pattern out towards the back, where the first row, the ones that's nearest to the tables, are cold bits. You've actually got a big big cauldron of what you have to assume is borscht, and some other various sauerkraut and salady bits, and beyond that, there's if you crane, because you're 6.5 feet, you can crane pretty easily. It's you know, stand with pierogies, stand with pierogies, stand with pierogies, stand with pierogies, stand with pierogies. And beyond that, far as you can tell, is things along the lines of Gołąbki, the kind of hunter stew, kielbasa casserole kind of bits and pieces for anyone who's wants something that's not quite pierogi, and off in a corner, various things like dessert pancakes and that kind of situation. But Cherie has got a table by the window, A, so you can see her on your way in, and B, because it's got a nice view over the rest of the street.
Okay.
Hi, I've ordered you. I ordered you a beer. It's a good
Oh,
one.
right.
So I figured that the beer list, because they don't have a wine list, they have a beer list, and I mean, we can try a taster selection if you want, but I thought I'd pick something that I figured would suit you.
Thank you for that. How's your day been?
Well, a little busy. Things are, as you can imagine, a little tense at work right now. Whole
Sorry.
bunch of look. This has been a thorn in the side of this entire province for a while. Something was going to happen about it anyway, and
Mm,
now it's just all a matter of the fallout. Which it's
yeah.
not in. I mean, I'm sure it's in my job description, but I don't think it was expected to be a part of my job description. But now that it is, I am a problem solver, so that's what I do. But before
Well,
we get too far into that, I should show you around the gauntlet of food.
Gauntlet implies that it's not a great place to be, but all right.
Well, it's gauntlet implies a challenge.
Mm.
This is just a tasty challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. And yeah, you very much see the borscht, and yeah, there's a good from what you're seeing at each individual of the pierogi stalls, there's at least a dozen different kinds of pierogi, all with different kinds of filling. The halfling who's sort of sitting at the very front sort of waves at Cherie and is going. So will we be adding other bits of dishes to the all-you-can-eat pierogi situation? Well, we're definitely going to be wanting dessert, and honestly, I think that Barnabas would be particularly interested in the hunter stew as well. So I think we can do that. Looks at Barnabas for.
Oh, yes.
And the halfling says, "Actually, you see, that is the thing. We are kind of a buffet, and the the pierogies are always the all you can eat for a gold. But
Mm-hmm.
if you add on another gold to that, you get all you can eat reign of the entire selections."
Ah, I'd be bargaining at twice the price.
Well, you would have to try some of these things. We are very very proud of our sausages.
Oh, I'll.
And yeah, it actually walks you through there's your standard cheese and potato kind of
Mhm.
pierogi. There's pork. There's a creamed spinach thing. There's various different meats and spicy fillings, and some you probably haven't even heard of because they don't have that shit in Ravnica.
Mm-hmm.
But just about anything you could conceivably stuff in a pierogi and have it tasty. Um, Cherie just starts with one of each.
That's basically what Barnabas is going to do too, because how else are you going to know what you like?
Yeah, that's very true. Of course, it's going to be particularly hard for Barnabas because they are all glorious.
Mm.
Yes, and when she points out the borscht on your way back to your table, she also flags up. There's also a kind of a potato dumpling, which
Mm.
is effectively mashed potato with a little bit of flour and various bits of spicy. So a little different than the pierogies, but still. I occasionally like to put a couple in the borscht.
Actually, that sounds like a genius idea.
I like my potatoes. It's a thing. Sit back down and how are you doing anyway? It sounds like you've all been busy in a lot of different directions.
Yeah, that's a very, very succinct way to put it. Yeah, it's there's some personal stuff that we're doing. We're also getting ready to go get our bollocks kicked in by Bendis.
Ah, yeah. Mm. Yeah. The unfortunately, I should probably flag up that the governor is already fielding occasional conversations with Governor Bendis.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, she is yelling that you haven't been there to apologize yet. He's mostly shutting her up by saying they already have a mess here to clean up before they come to you.
That's exactly what's going on. We realize that there's a bunch of some people might some former scourge Asimon might hold a grudge, and we want to fix that before we actually move on and take the shellacking.
That would be nice. Yes. How are you getting along with the with the tracking? I mean, I might be able to be of some help.
Actually, we're just. I don't know if anything's concrete at the moment. If you have any information, that'd be really, really useful.
Out of character, you're smart. You might have to tell her that you know that they're in the sewers somewhere, but it was only Tag that ever had a map of the
Yeah.
place.
I mean, I think we know that they're hiding in the sewer somewhere, but Tag only, as far as we know, we don't have a map or locations where they could be.
So you want a map of the sewers, a complete map of the sewers in recent memory.
Yeah, exactly.
The kind of thing that you could probably get from a civil servant.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
If you want to come back to the office with me later, I'll see what I can dig up. We've got a records room, and hopefully that will be of some help to you.
That would be wonderful.
Not a problem. It's to be honest, it's a little bit part of my job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on a couple of levels, it's a part of my job as primary secretary to the governor and general dealer with of general civic nonsense, and also job of good girlfriend. So have you picked a favored pierogi yet?
That's gonna take a little more time.
Well, that's it.
It's so hard.
I know, but it's. I just wondered, honestly, just on the basis that if I know which, okay, maybe pick a top 3. I don't know, because it's good for me to know these things. That's part of why we do the restaurant.
Well, honestly, at the moment, the one that keeps popping up at the top is just a simple farmer's cheese because basic and
Yes, no,
it's perfect.
well, that's probably down to they keep their own goats and cow in little pen just outside, and they make their own here. So there's apparently a secret to the process that they don't tell anybody, which
Of course.
I could probably figure out if I paid any attention to what what they order for transport out to the farm. But I let them keep their secrets. It's a thing.
Yeah, no, but that's probably the 1A at the moment, just because it's. I mean, it's perfect. So I have a question for you, and feel free to slap me down for even asking it. But did you know?
If you're talking about the nature of my
Mm-hmm.
immediate boss, look at it this way. I knew, and he knew I knew, but
Mm-hmm.
we never talked about it because it was
Ah.
very important for him to keep the secret. And part of my job is discretion.
Mm-hmm. No. I kind of figured that you at least had some clue because
I
unless
didn't,
you're one of the
unless
best actresses known, you would
little from
it would leave
column
a mark.
A, little from column A, little from column B, probably. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
secretary. You know that we have to put on a most
Oh
of
yeah.
the time civil face,
Mm-hmm.
unless you have had the same two people who've been arguing about the same stupid blueberry bush for months turn up back in your courtroom to talk about. I mean, really, those two just. Honestly, I am halfway minded to just literally lock them into Her Grace's bower and just let them beat on each other until they're unconscious and then send in one of the apothecaries to patch them back together and say, "There, you're even, shut up."
It sounds about right. Although, in a weird kind of way, I kind of have to thank them.
That's fair. That's part of why it's only a idle daydream, not a something I would actually arrange.
Hmm.
Not yet, anyway. But I
Yeah.
swear, if they get a free pass from me one more time because of having been able to meet you on account of them, but they come back anymore, I'm going to find a way to get one of them moved to one of the outlying farms. If they want to grow blueberries so badly, let them have a blueberry farm somewhere in the western reaches and leave the rest of
Mm-hmm.
us alone.
Yeah, but sticking them in the Grace's bow, I mean, the ticket sales from that alone, you
Uh,
could definitely sell tickets with those two.
you probably could, but Her Grace's Bower doesn't work quite like that. But I do
It'd be for
know.
charity.
Well, it's more that Paulette, the bartender, out on the upper, on the main bar,
Mm-hmm.
she puts aside some of the profits to go to various of the animal rescues and other civic bits and pieces. So that would probably feed into the city in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
So less for personal gain and more for helping out the city and mutual satisfaction all the way around.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think would win?
Honestly, knowing the two of them, they would both beat on each other for a little while and then both swing a chair at each other at the same time, knocking each other in the head and both becoming unconscious at the same time. They are very, very evenly matched both in strength, combat ability, and sheer stupidity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that level of petty, that's the level of petty that would seek out undeath to keep going at each other too.
Well, no, I'm not talking about dying because you're not
I know.
allowed. Nobody's allowed to
No, no,
die in
I'm
this.
just
They would, they
that
would,
that
they would beat on each other until unconscious. We would then, when bring them back around, tell them that they're both losers in all senses of the word,
I mean,
and send them on their
truth is
merry
truth.
way. Yes, they would get the loser beer.
Mm,
The thing is,
well deserved.
you have to drink the loser beer. It's not recommended.
Um,
Um, I think we shipped some of it to Alzor High once. That particular brewer doesn't. It's the last few batches of one individual who's probably well past when he should have retired.
Mhm.
It tastes like basically if you took a granary, rain and had it rain on it for a while, and then just let it ferment and mold.
So sadness and mold.
I understand that the people in one place in Alzar High refer to it as the rain granary beer.
Mm.
Yes,
Yeah.
Barnabas doesn't know about this one, but a few of the rest of you do know that that's what Nye ordered once. Right, ready for another round? Because you do have to try their hunter stew.
Mhm.
And yeah, as many pierogies, as much kielbasa casserole, as much hunter stew as you like. It's probably going to take a while to fill up Barnabas, but Cherie is nice enough to make sure that he leaves a little bit of space for
Mhm.
the sweet pancakes because you liked that cheese. This is a sweeter version with fruit.
Ooh, that'd be one. Mhm.
And yeah, that some a selection of some very nice beers and afterwards coffee with a little bit of vanilla vodka.
That's a very happy stuffed minotaur.
Maybe he won't feel too bad about missing the
No, no. If it wasn't for this, he'd would be really mad when he found out about it. Now it's more like, oh, Don, next time.
yeah. Of course, this is when Cherie flags up. Okay, I don't know how far along in the book that you've got, but this is Barnabas is offers to pay. The offer is accepted. It's
Mhm.
as per the book. But as they're heading back to the government building so that Cherie can take Barnabas and have a look for sewer maps, she flags up that I don't know if you've got this far because I know you're doing by stages, but the next date for us is going to be a restaurant that you pick.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that your friends have wandered around a little bit longer than you have, so they might have some suggestions. But we can say we can meet at the head of the Street of Plenty tomorrow if you're not too busy.
It's a date.
Great. And as you're heading in the general direction of the government building, now I haven't actually done a map for this, but I'm hoping to not need one because hopefully Barnabas will be able to. Well, Barnabas and Cherie will hopefully be able to scare some of this off. You kind of taking what is apparently for Cherie a shortcut out of the main drag of traffic, and your little side street does end up blocked by. You don't recognize these people specifically, but the hair is very dark, the skin is fairly pale, and they are wearing probably their only actual armor, which is guardsmen's uniforms.
Mm.
As far as I can see, Barnabas is just currently glaring, and Cherie has absolutely zero patience for that. Uh, reaches into handbag, pulls out hand crossbow, chunk, and yeah, directly into one individual's shoulder for 7 points of piercing damage. Chunk.
And there's a moment where Barnabas sort of goes, all right, and just draws and.
Yeah, actually, make me an intimidation check. Yeah, Cherie is many things, but she is not particularly intimidating. And how are they feeling? Okay, nope. We're gonna have to put together a map of some description. So let me see what I can do with a little bit of drawing. Draw shape. Go for black. Because it's a fairly narrow alley. Don't worry, I'll switch it back on in a... I'll move us to there in a minute. But I'll set up the board first. One, 2, 3. Fuck it, I'll just stick with a female caster for now. And Barnabus, bink. And now we move the players. Poink. Okay, there's gonna be a whole bunch of rolling initiative. Where's my notebook? I have paper, it's fine. Barnabas, initiative.
All right.
Christ. Okay, so that's... You guys have the same initiative. That's that's kind of cute. Thinking about it, so that's... Okay, so... As our number 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, this is going to be fun. That misses. And that misses. Huzzah! Barnabas, this jackass is swinging at your girlfriend.
This jackass is going to get the full blender treatment. So we're bonus action. We're going to manifest the echo behind him.
Okay, let's put another Barnabas behind. Okay.
And then we're also going to fire off Action Surge because, like I said, he's getting the full blender treatment for his stupidity. So that's what? 6 attacks?
Think so.
7?
3. It's double. So if you have 3 attacks, then 3, then 6.
Yeah.
it's always going to
7.
be. Why
Because I
7?
get one more. I get one more for
For
what
the
was
echo.
it? For the echo.
Okay. Yeah, I figured that was probably it, but for just the straight action surge, it was going to be double the.
Right.
That poor sod.
Yeah.
Well, they need to. They need to learn. They're already dumb enough to do this, so lessons need to be taught.
This is fair.
All right. So number 1.
That does, in point of fact, hit, and that's kind of painful for this individual.
Number 2. Oh,
No, that does not hit.
gotcha. All right.
With pretty good armor.
Number 3.
That does definitely hit.
Number 4 also hits.
Yep. Nope.
Miss. 5. This will be 6.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely hits.
And last one from the echo for 7. Hit.
And it takes a surprising amount of whack, whack, whack on this individual, but they do eventually go down.
How hard did you hit him? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. This is beginning to understand what Remy must have looked like wailing on Jessamy. Right. So now that we're into full actions. Need to check something. Oh, good. Once this one drops, does probably did not entirely expect anything like this from girlfriend. Even got quite this far into getting to know you territory yet.
Mm-hmm.
What are the touches a charm on her bracelet, points the arm with the bracelet, murmurs an arcane phrase, and these two there, because that was make a random melee attack against each other, or person within reach. One misses, the other one hits, because that's basically their turn. So, and she doesn't have bonus actions, so that's how much damage are we talking about here? 8. Not for very much damage. Yeah, and they start. Well, it's, one Azamar hits the other. They appear to be relatively, well, frankly, confused. I don't think you've ever seen the confusion spell at work. Did I mention
What?
I spent a couple of years at wizarding school?
You did not.
Oh,
That is
that's
weirdly hot.
I didn't necessarily want to fling a fireball, but this seemed a little bit better. I'm more for enchantments anyway.
Mm.
But they probably need to be dealt with because that's not going to last particularly long. It is your turn again, by the way.
Well, we are gonna move right up next to the top one.
Blink. Is your echo going to move?
Yeah,
Where's
they're
your...
gonna just be basically blocking the bottom one from Shuri.
That should probably do.
Yeah. And in that case, it'll be just the regular attack action without the action surge is 4 with the echo. Well, the echo's not there, so 3.
Okay. You're attacking the one at that one.
Yeah, the
Okay.
top one. That unless his AC is different, that'll hit.
No, that'll definitely hit. Yep.
Paybacks is swinging well today. And miss.
Hang on. I need to do some math. So 16, 24. So. Okay. So that's, yeah, it's 1, 2, 3. And you have, oh no, because the echo is, so yeah, no, they're still standing, but they're made of a certain amount of ow.
Come on, hit me.
Yeah, no, might have some minor issues with that one, so let's see. Wisdom saving throw. You're really not doing particularly good wisdom saving throws here, guys, so frightened for the duration. Well, actually, first they have to make another... Well, no, they don't, because confusion would have cut off. So they're not attacking each other anymore, but... This individual at the top attempts to make a swing at you, because it's not frightened of you. That misses... What's your AC?
18.
Sorry?
18.
Sorry, because you had your mouth full, and I wasn't sure if
I
that was...
apologize.
I wasn't sure if that was 15 or 18, and as it's 18, no, it's fine. It's still missed. And this is the end of his turn, and therefore he takes... 4d10 psychic damage. Oh boy. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait. 4d10 psychic damage?
Phantasmal Killer.
Ooh.
Yeah, that. Welcome to Enchantment Wizards, bread and butter.
Well, this is...
These are...
That's actually an illusion spell, but...
Um...
But actually, it takes a couple of swings at you, misses by a country mile, and then falls down dead. I can see sort of Barnabus glancing back at Cherie, just...
middle distance.
Okay. Individual number 3. Hand of Fate time. Yeah, no, they're absolutely fucking terrified. Not because they have a particular fear spell, but they just watch Barnabas turn one of their companions into sashimi, and this one just literally died of a fear-related embolism.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just actually no. First thing they're going to do is pop their wings. So Barnabas, I would like you to make me I believe it's a wisdom save.
Yeah.
No, now you're frightened, and that probably does mean you do get your attack of opportunity, but you get it at disadvantage because now you are terrified of this apparition whose eyes have gone wall to wall black, and these spectral flayed wings have just. It's like this is the flip side of what Alice is, and it's kind of
Mhm.
terrifying. So one attack roll with disadvantage.
Disadvantage on, and oh, almost did it.
Yeah, if it hadn't been for the disadvantage, probably. But yeah, no. And we're gonna hand of fate this again because I don't want to spend too much time on this level of combat. And no, the hand of fate really hates you because this one runs in basically runs from this whole mess and vanishes into the crowd at the end of the alley. The fear subsides after a second.
There's a second or two, and he's panting, sort of slaps himself like, I hate that nonsense.
It's useful when it's being done to them.
Oh yeah, no, I hate it when I have to deal with it. It's
I
wonderful when oh, you okay?
but they didn't get a chance to get anywhere near me, so thanks for that.
My
You're
pleasure.
you're okay, I take it.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw them
and
take a swing, but it didn't look like they were hitting anything.
no, they won't. Pretty sloppy, honestly.
Well, they're probably running a little bit amok right now, and this was quite possibly an attack of opportunity. So, why don't we head out in the general direction of finish our trip to the government building? I'm sure I can get somebody to walk me home. You meet with your friends with whatever map I managed to dig up, and explain to them that things appear to be having a problem, and I wouldn't worry about it for when I come home because you've seen how Woofles
Yeah.
give some very distinct sniffing of anybody who comes anywhere near, and anyone who comes near with the intention of hurting me is probably not going to stand still for it, and that's when Woofles decides you need to be eaten now. At which
Mm.
point, this is probably when Barnabas is very glad he positioned that echo behind Ava, because if she had backed up, if somebody didn't want to submit to the snoofing, if that's an attack.
Mm.
Oh dear, which of them tried to run away?
Uh, Ava looked like she would, so I put my echo behind her to keep her from doing that, and I think I may have just saved her life.
You should probably tell her that, yes.
Mm.
Okay,
That's
so,
good to know.
right. One last hand of fate roll. It takes a little while. Barnabas is probably going to be a little bit light meeting his friends, but eventually, rather covered with dust, she comes out and, okay, so we apparently haven't looked at these sewers in a while, but that's actually a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
because I think the newer sewer maps probably haven't bothered with anything that's within that's not dealing with sewage, and they probably don't want to be living in sewage. So this might have some dead end bolt holes, etc. That they might be able to hide in because they're no longer a part of the main sewer bits. I've brought out a copy of the main sewer maps as far as we have them to see what you all can find, but I have a feeling that your Clarity would probably be better at that. She seems to have an eye for dungeons, which is my polite way of saying that she probably raids things. Probably books. Mostly
Oh yeah,
books.
mostly all the books. Look, I thought I was a reader. I don't hold a candle.
At some point, if we get to the shared dinner with your friends territory, I should probably invite her to have a look at my library sometime.
That's a great way to make a friend for life.
Oh, I keep. That's the
At
thing.
least with her.
Given my job, I kind of have to keep abreast of various things. So it's important to know a lot of different things for that kind of situation. But yes, just be careful heading back. And
Mhm.
I will see you tomorrow in the prearranged spot. Ask your friends for uh restaurant advice, and actually, because she's not overly tall, she winds up standing on her own desk chair for smooch.
Which Barnabas goes for a little bit of the dip on it.
I'm not good. That's too cute to make anybody roll for. Although she does, as you're leaving, give your ass a little swat on the way out.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, and she winds up talking to some of the guards and they look they look affronted that anyone had the audacity to attack her, but there's a certain look behind it of, oh, those poor idiots had no idea what they were getting into, did they? So yeah, you guys are in the stacks, probably waiting for Barnabas to join you before ordering anything, and he wanders in with. I mean, I was kind and letting you have still had your armor, but I guess you don't really generally wear anything else anyway, for the most part, unless it's special occasions and whatnot. But we'll just. I mean, most of the rolls were shit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. One came close-ish, but given some of your bits and pieces, I still don't think it'd have necessarily hit you. But either way, you wander back in with probably a bit of a ding in the in the shoulder guard, and you may have cleaned off your sword, but when you and the paybacks, but when you slice somebody into that many bits, you can't
It's
yeah, unfortunately, it didn't quite consider the prestidigitating things. You're a little bit busy digging around for maps for you, so you turn up and Barnabas turns up in the doorway, and while the bar staff doesn't bat an eye, you guys might notice that there's some blood on Barnabas's armor.
What happened to you?
Must have been some date.
That's not Cherie's blood on your body.
no. Three
Of course not.
three idiots in caught us in an alley when we were going from the restaurant back to the records room for this map of the sewers.
To be fair, you
And
have two. One's a regular map, and one's an older map that you can compare to find potential hiding spaces.
edit these maps of the sewers, but they really didn't know what they were getting into.
Cherie, okay?
She's fine. You know, she's apparently a wizard too.
Huh.
What
I got
He's
to see
standing up
someone.
and walking towards the exit.
what kind of
It
idiot
did.
would
Alice
that be?
just grabs Hazel. Can we hear the rest of this first? If anything happens like 3 doors down, we'll know, but we need to know what we're getting into. It literally shoves Hazel back into the chair.
It was the former scourge Azima with some very.
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
because Bard, I kind of got interrupted by Hazel heading for the exit. You got to see what?
I've never seen a phantasmal killer spell before actually work. It's rather. It takes one aback when someone just keels over.
Huh. Well,
Ow.
there you go. That's
Yeah.
Clearly, Cherie is someone you do not want to mess with.
No.
Not that we didn't
And-
know that already, to a point.
I see Barnabas going, and I thought her pulling out a hand crossbow as an immediate reaction to being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she like they stepped in front of us, and I was just glaring. She just pulled out a hand crossbow. God, it was so hot to see that instantly.
Well, you knew apparently that she takes zero bullshit.
Yeah, well, it's
Clearly.
even less zero. It's even more zero bullshit taken. And
In-
I know bullshit. But bumped. And God, I think I love that woman.
Well, at the very least, if you've got maps, we may not have to search the tower or any of. We
Mhm.
probably
That would
should
be helpful.
We probably should anyway. At least give a quick once over to make sure that all is relatively well. I mean, somebody might actually want to live there when it's not a
Mhm.
that. Okay, Hazel. We will go and we will check. But it's entirely possible that even if they do something, it's probably not going to be at the same time.
No, this was definitely a just happened to want attack of opportunity. They did just happen to see us.
Did you get all of them?
One of them got away, ran, and popped wings that were very fallen angel, which caused a brief bit of supernatural fear, which I hate that.
Yeah, that's what happens when Azamar fall even the regular way. Apparently, if they fall by taint, it's worse.
Yeah.
This is why I say unto you all again, death is better.
Mm.
I don't want to be that. Don't let me be that.
You won't.
Thank you. Now,
Fist bump,
You
Barnabas.
won't.
let's at least peer down the road and make sure there's nothing going on. Hazel, I have a feeling they probably won't do anything unless you're actually there.
Yeah, I think we are the target more than anything else.
Mm.
I mean, particularly if he hasn't talked to you yet, but I'll come with you and we'll peer down the road, okay?
Mhm.
And go out and lean, because it really isn't that far, and the little thatched cottage is still fine. They haven't taken down the welcome home Papa sign yet. Okay?
Still gonna be worrying about it for a while,
Well,
but
tell you what,
yeah.
when we've covered everything we need to, maybe you can do some of your asking Paylor for advice thing. Come on, and nudges back in. So, very briefly, just as a change of subject, we went to a place for dinner that you absolutely have to try.
I was just about to. So in the schedule of things, next date
You pick the
tomorrow.
restaurant. You pick the
Right.
restaurant next. I went for a bigger overview of the book than you did.
Yeah.
I understand why, but it means I get to help.
Thank you.
There's a place that's just called The Grill.
The Grill. Okay.
They call it barbecue. A lot of meat. In this sweet, smoky kind of whiskey sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
The first thing we thought when we went in there was like, Barnabas would love this.
Oh, I would be really mad if I didn't just have some of the best pierogies and home cooking stuff that I have ever had in my life.
Well, they have for those of you with bigger appetites, they have mixed grill, which is barbecue chicken, barbecue ribs, pulled pork, barbecued beef brisket, and a choice of 3 sides.
Oh.
Various different kinds of mashed potato salad, coleslaw, greens, various greens, macaroni and cheese, various different varieties of chili or spice levels of chili.
I am gonna end up getting so fat from this place. I swear.
If you have this level of workout, no, you're fucking not.
I was going to say.
Right, but if I end up retiring here, which is
yeah, with
You'll probably keep sparring,
yeah.
and who knows? You might burn it off with Cherie in other ways too.
yeah.
That gets a fist bump from Darwin because I'm just looking at Alice going, I was thinking the same thing.
I'm starting to think they're incapable of doing anything food-wise that's not amazing.
Well, no, I think that's kind of what they're about.
Yeah.
Particularly for the Baori and Balinor and Palor worshippers here, this is their faith in. They
this is how they show their devotion.
Yeah, they worship by doing, and if you're gonna worship by doing, you do your absolute
do the best you can. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I also, if you guys are ever want to do anything pierogi related, what was the name of the place? I don't.
You didn't actually ask, and probably didn't get a good look at the sign.
But
you can point out sort of where it is along the street. So describe the sign, kind of thing.
It describes the sign like, look, it's better than home. Okay.
We actually kind of wanted to do something like that anyway, so maybe we can swap dinner restaurants tomorrow. Because you might actually want to eat at the grill twice, because apparently they do. And, you can test the quality of their food as a lunch thing, because apparently they do various hot meat sandwiches, including an open-faced chicken sandwich smothered in gravy, and a smoked meat sandwich on bread made out of rye, mostly, with spicy mustards.
I just
Look at his face.
stuffed myself to the point. How am I hungry again?
Well, welcome to Anbeer, but like I say, you can have a test of their bits and pieces. I would recommend. You have a sweet tooth, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they have this sweet iced tea. You should have seen the look on Ava's face.
Oh.
I mean, it was really good. It's just extremely sweet.
I like it already. Oh, Ava. From conversation with Cherie, and for everybody generally, if you guys are ever coming over to her place and Wolfels is around, do not back up. Wolfels will, if they go to sniff you and you start backing up, they'll think it's time to chase.
Oh. Good to know.
When she told me that, I'm like, I keep putting my echo behind you. Probably was a very good idea. So just wanted to spread that around.
Yeah.
Oh,
thank you
it's
for
like
that.
the wolf for bears.
Basically.
Thank you for that.
Well, also because guard animal.
Yeah.
If
that's fine.
Anybody who's coming to visit her with good intentions probably knows that Woofles is her pet. Anybody who doesn't have good intentions probably also knows Woofles is her pet and doesn't want to go anywhere near them.
Yeah.
So y'all who were very, very invested on pets and scritches for the Woofles are probably doing right. There's I'm just is there a reason we'd end up visiting?
I don't. Maybe to come get me at some point. I don't.
No,
it's more of just
out of character. Remember, she mentioned a stage in which meeting group for dinner.
Yeah, there's a stage about meeting a group of friends and things to in being introduced, and I also just wanted to bring it up while it was fresh in my mind.
That's fair. And also, out of character, there was Cherie talking about Clarity liking her library.
Clarity, apparently, she's got a very impressive library that she expressed interest in sharing with you. I told her that would make a friend for life doing that.
Oh,
I
so
would
I can see the stars in her eyes already.
so she's pegged us as your family.
Yeah.
Because that dinner that group dinner is supposed to be a family dinner. It'd be
Yeah, she's.
interesting when we
I
get
mean,
to you meeting hers.
yeah, but she's right.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's not wrong.
I just think that's sweet. That's all.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
It's adorable.
Right. We should probably save looking at these maps for when we get back to the Bone Orchard. Hazel probably wants to do asking Paylor for guidance thing when we get back there too, because I would recommend not doing that kind of thing in a pub. And we do that kind of study. And Mary Claire, she's still with Faraday, right?
Should be, I reckon.
Yeah, Flitty will probably join back up with you guys at around that point, because that's where Flitty knew you'd all be in the same place.
Hey, Betty.
Do I need to give any new plans to the peoples, and also are there nibbles? Yay! No. You're gonna
Gavin
kind
literally
of
just slides the plate forward.
well, probably bag, so you open it and Flitty into the bag.
Oh well, yeah.
Nom nom nom.
There you go.
Although Hazel is probably going to have to keep Michigan
Just
from
hands it back
going
to
in.
Rylan.
To have to keep. So you're probably gonna have to snug. At this point, you're starting to get the
I'll
feeling
hand the
that
bag to Rylan.
you're probably getting the feeling now that Michigan is partially being a gremlin just as an excuse to be snugged like this.
Aw.
You
Yes, yes.
seriously. Or like, another like 4 or 5 instances of this, and you may as well be the found familiar.
Adorable.
We have a spell for that.
So yeah, it pokes out of the bag a little bit spattered in barbecue sauce. That's really tasty. Do I need to give a message to the dragon lady? Out of character, that actually no, I'll just have Alice say it. Just to say that we're heading back to the Bone Orchard to look at some maps and stuff, and if Mary Claire can walk her back there, that would be great, because it's
Yeah.
a little.
I was going to suggest we go get her, but if Mary Claire can walk her back, that would be.
Yeah, I imagine that Mary Claire is a heart. She's probably going to be maybe not quite on a par with the Cherie level awesome, but probably well enough to keep Faraday reasonably okay as they're walking. But just
that side of the family is very, very stabby.
well, from what you said, they were basically there to keep an eye on the various bits of Yik that were coming into Star Coast from various points south, so that's kind of understandable when you think about it. But yeah, so and scritches Flitty and gives a couple of prestidigitation to. Sorry, I have a feeling you might get impeded a bit in your flying by barbecue sauce. Well, I was gonna lick some of it off, but I don't think that worked everywhere, so thank you.
So safety is assured by way of blender.
And I'll head back to the Bone Orchard and meet y'all when I have delivered my message. Maybe I should
Go forth and be awesome.
Maybe I should also be invisible if people are being mean to you guys. I don't
Smart.
want you to have to. I don't want you to have to bring me back to life again. And they
Please be
probably know
careful,
I'm here.
Liddy.
That's why I got invisible and goes invisible. I'm assuming it flew away, but I mean, from what I've been hearing, he helped bring the cavalry to get you guys out of jail when. So I'm pretty sure he can manage this.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So yeah, we'll get a few last bits of things done at the Bone Orchard tonight. See how far Faraday got. Uh, Probably at this point, all of us should check in at the creepy lady down the end of the lane and find the rest of those. If you took down two and one got away, A, they know we might be coming, and B, there's only 10 of them now. So that's something.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll also see what Paylor has to say about that when Hazel does. At least I imagine they've got plenty of incense you can borrow.
That would be awesome because, well,
Of course, we could.
the shops may be open a lot, but finding that sort of stuff.
Hazel, all you have to do is, and Ashley turns around to the bartender. Where would Cleric of Paylor go for a good selection of incenses? Names a couple of shops, and Alice takes a couple of notes. Rip. Hands the bit of paper to Hazel.
Not all of us are bards.
Yeah, but you
Taking
can.
the paper.
Yeah, but you can use the. You can. That's why we're a team.
I get it. I get it.
Ruffle. But you can pick that up in the morning. The shops may be open at all times, but that's something to that's something to consider anyway. Just because this place has got the best everythings that are like made from plants and such like. Wouldn't incense also be a part of that?
Makes sense.
This can be your fancy. It's really got to work incense.
Yep. I'm just scritching Michigan.
Yeah, who's perfectly happy to just sit there and be snugged. And since we are at that time, hopefully we'll have everybody in 2 weeks, and even if we don't, we'll do what we can, and we'll lay out a game plan for dealing with this bullshit with the fallen Azamar before it gets uglier. See you guys.